This is Crypto Core Radio, discussing the ideas, people, and projects building the new digital economy. Get the latest on blockchain technology and cryptocurrency updates with your host, Lutz.
I think I had you muted, bro. Give it a try now.
No,
There you are. Yeah, I got you, bro. Welcome.
Thank you, man.
Been a long time.
Say what?
It's been a long time. What you been up to?
For sure. Working hard. We've been focusing a lot on Chameleon, and now recently we're also been working on designing a trade engine for OTC exchange. And it's been.
I heard there's some good innovations in that area from what I've heard. Just before we start, everyone, welcome to Radio R or Crypto Core Media or Supernet Radio. I don't know. You pick and choose. My name is Lutz. I'm your host, and we have today Chainzilla. Chainzilla was on the show about 1 year ago, almost exactly. And we're getting an update today, and we're going to see how far along they've come. They are the creators of blockchains. They create the chain for you, and not many people out there know how to make a chain. It's not easy to find the algo you like and for whatever purpose you need it for, and that's why Chainzilla exists. They're there to help you create that chain for whatever purpose you're using it for. And they got some awesome wallet and other technology too from, I've seen since we've last spoken. Right, PTY?
Yeah. I mean, the idea of Chainzilla started to onboard projects onto Komodo and onto other platforms. So basically, the idea at first was to develop blockchain and basically tokenization services. But within 3 or 4 months into the once we actually failed to raise the funds in the ICO, we decided to go into sales mode with the software that we already had, which was Chameleon. And we learned really fast that there's a market for tokenization, but it's not as wide as we thought. So that's when we started pivoting into developing more into Chameleon, the application. So basically, we started as just a basic app that would cater to the Komodo assets, and then we started adding more and more blockchain compatibility to it. And basically, what it is now, it's a white label wallet in essence. So it's a flexible engine with a very nice interface on top of it, but we can take that engine and build other applications with it, which is what we're doing now with.
No, very cool. Yeah, tokens kind of died, right? They were big, they were huge, and then everybody wanted to make their own token, and then it flatlined.
I think it hasn't necessarily flatlined. Like we still are actually doing contracts with people that want to tokenize, but it's not as wide of a market as really we thought. So for us, we have to think about if we're launching a company to create revenue from the software, then we can't just depend on one thing. So
right.
Currently, if you look at the website and we really haven't published the new white paper because we've been so busy with developing the new features for Chameleon and working now on we're basically currently in a contract to create a hybrid version of Chameleon, and that hybrid version will require a certain trading engine, which we're working on now, and hopefully we'll have it ready by October. And I plan to launch that beta app by the end of the year. We're also working with another project that tokenized recently, and they didn't tokenize on Komodo. They tokenized on Stellar, but we're building their MVP, and I think that will be ready within the next 2 months because they're about the IEO. So we've gotten contracts for tokenization, but we definitely started like I guess widening our net. So
Right,
that's
right, and that's a smart thing to do. You can't, I do the same thing. I don't just stick to every single Komodo coin, right? I you see me interviewing everybody. I mean, from little scam coins that I get scammed on to, big projects, like John McAfee, right? So,
right. Yeah.
but if you guys haven't seen the Chameleon wallet, that thing is really cool. He showed it to me. What was it? A few months back. Uh,
Yeah, you have
it's
to
really
wait.
fast.
The new version is coming out this week. I'm really happy with the build. It has a lot of improvements that a lot of people don't catch some of the things that I dislike of the app. So, if, like for example, like there's visual glitches that I can definitely tell are there. And then, for example, when you send the transaction, you have to back out of the wallet to be able to go into the receive tab. So we've changed it around to where you can use the minimum amount of touches. So basically, if you go into the wallet, you should be able to send a transaction within four touches. And then with a
Right.
fifth touch, you can actually switch to another tab, which is the receive or send, depending on what you're doing. And we also were
Why?
debating on how to integrate, like like on a normal on most wallets you can see the market price of the coin, and then you can see your value of the coin, like your total value of the portfolio. So we
Right,
had to
right.
think of a way to integrate that without saturating the wallet, and we just came up with basically on the new version, if you have your portfolio open, you can touch the pie chart, and then it'll rotate from market price to portfolio price. So basically, we were able to add it without adding anything actually to. So yeah,
Nice.
I
So
mean that's
so
what
it'll
we
be
try
like
to do.
a
Make it as simple as
it'll be like a
possible. Yeah.
block folio too.
Not yet. We have reached out to Delta, which can provide us the API to create like a what do you call it? Like a market tab, so you can basically have like a blockfolio experience within the app. But what we're doing now is just fetching like to get market, live market prices. But before with Chameleon in the previous versions, you weren't able to see the actual market price. You would see like the balance. You would see the amount it meant in the currency you selected, and then you would see your whole portfolio value. Now you can click the portfolio pie chart, and it'll rotate between the market price and your full wallet balance.
Oh,
It's
very
just easy
nice.
to see.
You know,
You don't have to.
Chameleon has endless. If you like, use your imagination. You have an endless amount of possibilities. You could create this master wallet with atomic swapping within the wallet. The Blockfolio idea. Then you could have like the news that Blockfolio has also in a separate area. I mean, like you
Yeah.
have a project that's basically never ending. You could work on this for your whole life.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean the goal. I mean those are really like low hanging fruits, like putting a newsletter, which we already did, and putting things that other apps have done. But really, what we want to do is we already have partners that are working with AI and bots that already are, for example, integrated into like governments to help people like get stuff done for customer service. So basically, you can automate a bot, and what we want to do is create at least pilot tests where we can create like versions of Chameleon that have some kind of interaction with the bot. So, for example, somebody could grab the wallet that doesn't really know much about crypto, and they could just press a button and tell the bot, please send Bitcoin to so and so. And the bot will translate that to actual commands and would be able to make a transaction. Or we could take that same technology and create an identifier for a wallet. So you could basically tell your bot like, okay, I want this address to say to correlate to, I don't know, to John. And when you send a transaction, you could tell the bot like send the transaction to John instead of actually having to paste a full Bitcoin address. So we want to make it simple. And we right now, I mean, the wallet is a basic crypto wallet, but what we're doing is trying to find ways to make it easier to use, and also to spend. Like there's things that we're working on that I can't talk about yet, but I will be able to towards the end of the year, to make the crypto more spendable. Because right now, everyone's just holding the coins, but in reality, what we need to do is make it usable. Like we need to allow people to make transactions, to pay their bills, to make remittance without really having to know much about crypto.
Right, right. And I think isn't there like what's that called? Pungo, something like that. I think it's Spanish. It's like another wallet
Yeah, a
service.
point. Mhm.
I saw they had like Amazon, and it's going to become really easy to pay things. I briefly saw their site today. Every time I think of the word pungo, I think of the
Still
Spanish word like pungo la chocha. I don't know why.
that's still low hanging fruit because, for example, like in the next month, like once we make the release of Chameleon this week, we start working on the gift card implementation, and it's a native one, so you don't have to go into a DApp browser. You'll be able to buy up to 250 types of gift cards within Chameleon, very easily too, not complex. But those are very low hanging fruit. Like what I want to do is offer be like in the future. I imagine someone taking the application, selecting I want to pay my electricity bill, and they would be able to send Bitcoin to an address, and that would execute a transaction to pay their bill on the back end.
That's
And
awesome,
make
and I love the fact that you're thinking about making things easy because that's the problem. That's the main problem in crypto. Nothing's easy. I mean, people got to figure out a lot before they even get into involved with this. So,
yeah.
that UX design that you're telling me about, that's great, man. Less steps, like the just one step. You press one button, the one button solution.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to to what's coming. We don't have much outside funding. Like the investment that we made initially into Chainzilla was already basically recovered within the last year. So we're in profit, and the company is running in essence by itself. But if we were to have an influx of investment, I would definitely focus it on just expanding the wallet technology. We need to be able, to recover seeds better. We need to be able to have wallet creations done in a way that are more secure and that don't require someone to, save a 12-word seed, or possibly make Bitcoin addresses or crypto addresses more human readable. Things like that would give it more use in the mainstream. But in any
Yeah,
case, yeah, I mean, it's a slow process.
yeah. I just installed a bunch of wallets for a neighbor of mine who had it all on the exchange, right? And the biggest problem is they don't understand. They have no idea. And I installed the atomic wallet for him because trying to get every single wallet, he had like freaking 50 coins, man. Uh, try waiting for 50 blockchains to load, right?
Yeah.
It's so what you're saying with the backup though, that's I was thinking a USB stick, right? You stick it right into the USB slot. Chameleon sees it and says, "Would you like to back up?" And you say yes. Boom, and it's backed up right to the thumb drive.
We've looked at other systems, like for example, and it's not a popular thing to do, but people, I've already spoken with email providers that have systems where they generate a private key in a decentralized manner, and that or yeah, the client generates the private key, and the email server hosts a public key with the correlating email address. So in essence, we could use that same system to create, like for example, you being able to send someone Bitcoin with their email address as opposed to their Bitcoin address. Um, but the thing with
Is
that is
there a
that you have
problem?
to well, you have to think of security, right? The thing is, okay, so basically the way that the backup would work in that the user creates an email address, and they encrypt the backup to the cloud with their own password or whatnot. But that backup would also be able to like restore their either their private keys or their public keys. Um, it's just something that we've looked at in a sense that it would allow someone to back up their keys to the cloud after creating the wallet. But if the password is weak, then you have to think about that. And I don't know,
Right.
it's a
I also
process. Right now we're in the brainstorming phase where we're just trying things to see what actually would work. And we're looking
it's a
at we're talking with other projects that are working on different ways of generating private keys or storing them.
awesome. You still got the same team, John, and the rest of them.
No, no. Well, that was mostly the graphic team, but yeah, basically the team currently is I think we have 9 developers on the Chameleon
Oh
side.
shit.
We're working with 4 other developers for the exchange, um, and management. It's 4 of us. So yeah, it's
Nice.
grown a little bit, but the team isn't the same one that we started with.
Oh wow, nice job, dude. Listen, most projects you're lucky if they have two developers. So you're doing great as far as I'm concerned. I would invest in a project that has freaking 9 developers. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
They're doing something.
yeah. At least I'm just happy that we've been able to make the sales to keep the development going. And now that the notary node season starting, that even if it's just $1,500 a month, that at least pays for some overhead. So it's good.
Uh, we've been there, brother. We've been there. Trust me. You seen Crypto Core Media? We had to suspend. We had a little overage, and we had to suspend everything for a while. But we're getting it back up now. Now that things are above board with the Bitcoin, right? But yeah, we all get there, man. But there's no rules in life. You could slow down whenever you want.
Yeah,
You could start whenever you want. There's no rules that say you got to do this shit every day. Like my radio show, I do it whenever the fuck I feel like it. Right? Nobody tells me when to do it. So it's something I like to do, and chameleon something you like to do. That's your passion. That's your project, right? So
yeah,
don't worry too much about it. Don't make it a burden. It sounds like it's a bit of a burden. I want you to relax. I know PTYX from what is it 4 years now. Uh, he was a
close.
good he was a I watched you turn from a kid into a man, bro. In these 4 years, he just used to jump in. He was the young buck on the team. He was helping people, with wallets and stuff. And now look at him, man. He's a freaking CEO of a company that's doing amazing things. So congrats, bro. Kudos to you.
Thanks,
Really, really
man. Yeah,
proud of
it's,
you.
it's I don't feel we haven't even got started, but it has been a year. It's crazy. It went by really fast. But yeah, I mean, if
It's
I
ever
had
growing.
if I could do anything differently, it would have been not spending the funds trying to launch the ICO. What we should have done would just been taking those funds and put them into development. We would have been able to actually sell the wallet much faster, and we would have been at revenue. But I guess that's just one of those things you learn.
Hey, listen, mistakes have been made everywhere, and that's how we learn. Like we're starting, we got Crypto Core Media back up and again, and we have a lot of things we're saying to ourselves. Like, yeah, we're not going to do that again, right? Like
Yeah.
we're not going to allow the writers to write their own stuff anymore, right? Because we had an issue where they would go out there, they would go to like such and such project and say, hey, listen, I'll write you an article for $2,000, and then at
I
the
got
same
you.
time they're going to pay a salary from us, so we've on in every project you'll see improvements like that. That's how we improve, right? We find out what we did wrong the first time around, and we do it better the second time around, right? So
Yeah.
don't make it a hardship on yourself, man. That's called growth. You're growing.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
becoming better at what you do. Just never give up.
No, definitely, definitely. I agree.
So, so let's talk about the coin real quick. Chainzilla does have a coin, people. It what's the supply on the coin?
The maximum supply is 11 million, and right now there's 2.5 million in circulation. We're actually working right now on a staking feature. So like, I expect in the next 2 months for our token to be stakeable in the Magnum wallet, in the Utrum wallet, and possibly also on Chameleon. We have to test the mobile API, but basically, yeah. So anyone who holds Chainzilla will be able to earn 7% a year, and the way that it works is that you lock your tokens for a certain amount of time, and based on that, you get a percentage back. And what
Oh,
what we
very
plan on
nice.
doing, yeah, with the we want to give it a little bit more utility. So once we launch the OTC exchange, what we want to do is try to create like different tiers where, like, if a trader holds so many Chainzilla, they get a discount in the trading platform, things like that. What else? Let me see. For the coin, we're working on rewards and buybacks as well. But in the next 2 or 3 weeks, the optimized website will be online and it has more information on the actual token.
Awesome. Tell me a little bit more about the OTC. Is that like
Um,
barterly?
It's. I actually wish we could use Barterly. I did contact them, but they're still, in they're still launching basically. So it'll be some time before we're able to use their technology. But what we're doing is basically using. You mentioned Punjo, and they're a project in Malta that they have several different types of services like escrow and payment services, debit card reloading. So we partnered with them, and what we're creating is an engine that will allow us to basically just receive Bitcoin, and in the back end do a swap for stable currency and execute the payment, whether that be, for example, a remittance, or that might be a reload for a cell phone or a gift card, or just a transaction to, or maybe just a swap, like from Bitcoin to dollar. And what it does is just it hooks up everything that we have. Like, we already have partnerships with Stably, which is a stable coin provider. We have partnerships with a few exchanges, and we have approved account with a few exchanges that we want to hook up to this. The idea
Very
is just
nice.
to pilot this where we're operating. There's no easy way to buy Bitcoin online and to sell it. So basically, it's facilitating that, and the overall goal is to provide merchants with a solution, so like people can start using stable currency as payments, and they will be able to consolidate it into fiat, in intervals or whatever. But
Huh,
yeah,
very,
it's it's
very.
it's uh
That's
it's, it's
amazing.
something that will tie into to what we're doing.
That would be amazing technology. Are you looking at KYC at all, or are you just trying to do this the whole JL77 method?
No, no, it has to be full KYC. We actually have to implement blockchain analysis as well. And when we pilot, since we're dealing with very touchy banks, we're going to pilot with very low limits. So I think when we pilot, we actually won't even really make much noise. We will just like launch a beta, release it to a few traders that we know locally, and start testing it that way. Just so we are sure that the platform is scalable, that it's secure, and that we're not going to have any issues once we actually get some real volume. But the goal is to become that consolidation layer between Bitcoin and dollar for the country where we're operating in. And yeah, from being able to have that gateway, you can offer all types of different types of services. Um, remittance, like I said, refills, payments, you name it, you can do it.
Oh, very nice, man. So at this point in time, you have great product. What's do you have like a roadmap? Well, that'll probably be on the new website, right? A
Yeah,
roadmap
yeah,
with the new version of the white paper.
exactly. Yeah, the roadmap, we changed from roadmap to phases. So basically, on the new token site, you'll be able to see the phases that we're in and what's coming. Um, and let's see what else. Oh yeah, the solutions page is also expanded. So basically, you'll be able to see all of the services, which include consulting, web development, app development, and the blockchain development services with all the technology stack that we're using. Just a little bit more attractive, because we've been so focused on Chameleon, we forgot about the website, and Now we're taking a little bit more attention to it that we're actually selling. So we need to make it as informative as possible.
Nice. I actually I want a coin built myself using POC, proof of capacity. But I
Yeah.
want a Komodo chain. I want an asset chain.
Okay. Oh,
So
they're
I could
called
use
smart
people
chains
can
now,
use hard drive.
by the way.
Well, that burst. I don't know if you know burst coin. They use proof of capacity. Uh, the problem
Okay.
is the dev the dev ran off like years ago, and nobody really knows how to recreate it. So it's really the only proof of capacity coin out there until Filecoin comes out, or Volume Network, I think, is another one still to come out that uses hard drives to mine coins. Which, me
Okay.
personally, I believe will put everybody on the same playing field. Nobody's got an ASIC, nobody's got a fancy GPU. Uh, it would be nice if a coin would stay at the CPU level, but we have not seen that yet, right? Because
What about Verus?
FPGAs.
This is well, I think they
Well,
now
there's
have
FPGAs. Yeah.
right, right.
So, and the problem with that is that we don't know how long those been out, right? So as far as fair, I think hard drives really put everybody on the same playing field. You can't buy a better hard drive than somebody else. So it wouldn't make any difference in the proof of capacity mining, right?
I
So
guess that's
that
yeah. I never heard of it, but I'll do some research on.
Oh yeah, man, dude! If you could make me so I have a full idea. I have a lot behind it, but I don't know anybody but a guy called Crotech. He's been
Mhm.
in the game for. He took over Burstcoin. He kept it going when the dev disappeared. So that's how I know
Oh,
him. Uh, and that was like 6 years ago, maybe even seven now. Who knows? Uh, but yeah, check it out, dude. I would love to get something started like that. Fair, totally fair. Everybody mines at the same time. We'll announce it like 3 months before, and everybody can get their hard drives ready and start get a fair launch going where everybody could be included.
yeah. Let's
But hey,
do some research on it. See if it's possible.
that would be awesome, bro. All right, man. I gotta go get dinner, and I think this baby might pop out of my wife soon. So
Yeah. Good luck with that, man. Really good.
I was, I was scared it was gonna happen today, but I'm glad we
That's
got
fun.
we got this done today. I really appreciate you coming on, man. You're a good kid. You've always been a good kid, and I wish the best for you. And if you ever need some help, I'm always here for you.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it. No, thanks for inviting me, and hopefully we'll do another one in a month or two.
Whenever you want, man. I'll jump in this chair and we do it on the spot if you want. No problem.
Cool, man.
And by that time, I'll even have Skype ready for you.
Yeah, well, if the sound is not too bad, then I guess this works. But with the microphone, I guess sometimes is a little better.
Well, Pirate also has that upgraded service, the Discord service, that
Uh,
those levels now that they have. So it does sound. It's a bigger bit rate. It's a
it does
I
sound
don't know.
better.
I
I,
don't know.
I had 3 calls today that didn't sound this good, so it makes sense.
Well, also, I'm using a $1,500 microphone, bro. I better sound good. This thing's expensive. All right, brother. Love you, man. Thank you,
Yeah, you too,
PTYX.
man. Take it easy. Thanks for invite.
No problem, brother. You have a good one.
Oh, you too.
All right. Wait. Are you still there?
Yeah.
What's the website?
Oh, Chainzilla IO. And yeah, and well, there on the bottom of the page, you'll be able to find the Discord, the Telegram, and you can check out Chameleon on Google, the Google App Store and the iOS App Store, and leave us some feedback.
Cool. And if anybody wants to contact you to do some business, create a chain, create a wallet for their coin or whatnot, right? Any email
Yeah,
address you want to throw
definitely.
out there?
Well, I mean, in the Chainzilla IO, you'll be able to actually contact us, or you can write us at hello@chainzilla IO. So anything from tokenization, custom apps, websites, app development, and also the white label versions of Chameleon that we already have ready to go.
and I know a lot of coins that could use every one of those goddamn services, man. Because they go, dude. They sit there. It's like they're not doing anything, right? And it's like oh, I got to go bike riding today. Well, dude, you got like 500 people here depending on you, but you go bike riding. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, there's not
like,
that
come
many
on, man.
great wallets out there, but that's definitely what we want to build, and we want other projects to be able to use it.
Awesome. You're
So,
doing it.
perfect.
You're putting out a great service.
Enjoy your dinner, my friend, and thank you for the invite.
No problem, brother. You have a good one, man.
All right, you too. Ciao.
All right, everybody. You too. All right, everybody. This was Radio R, or Crypto Core Media, or Supernet Radio, or Verse Core Radio, or what I've been or CryptoRadio.live. That's also me. We're on Spotify. We're on Pocket Casts now because I know Fishy Guts. He really wanted that. He wanted a podcast platform. So I think we're on like 5 different podcast platforms, Stitcher, and I forget the rest of the names, but they're out there. So come. We're gonna do this more often, fellas. We're gonna try to get 2 or 3 a week, hopefully. It depends, depends if this baby comes out, it might not be so often. But I try to bring you some good projects. Chainzilla is a good project. They're not fake people. They're not anonymous people promising you things and then taking 2 months off for good behavior or whatnot. All right, guys. So this is Lutz. Keep in touch, and I love you all. Signing out.
This has been Crypto Core Radio. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Tell your friends so they can be among the first to learn about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency advancement in the new digital economy.